Hey man, today we got some very interesting shit going on. This is 1 hour of disturbing deaths by what the fuck? No, by disturbing deaths of owners killed by their fucking pets. Now, ain't no way in fuck. I'm not a psycho. We're not finna watch an hour of this. That's absolutely insane. The fact is, it's an hour worth of pets killing their owners. Hey, that shit can only happen in America. You know what I'm saying? So we finna check this video out. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Give me some more dope video ideas, reacts, down below in the comments. And without further ado,
think your pet is your best friend? Think again. From exotic creatures to household pets, we're diving into the most bone-chilling real-life stories of owners who met their end at the hands or paws of the animals they loved. Brace yourself for an hour of jaw-dropping, disturbing tales that will make you see your furry companions in a whole new light. This is 1 hour of most disturbing deaths of owners killed by their pets.
okay.
It was March 5th, 2019, in the quiet village of Zdekov, located in eastern Czech Republic.
I was already wrong. I thought this was some shit that only happened in America. But I guarantee you he not finna have no dog. He finna have some outrageous, crazy, foreign ass. You know what I'm saying? He finna have some stupid shit. It's not finna be a dog. It's not finna be a fucking cat. Ain't no goddamn fish. It's finna be some crazy fucking pet that no human should have. You know what I'm saying? Inside of a fucking crib.
Michael Prysek, a 34-year-old local...
A fucking lion. You know what I'm saying? No surprise here. When I see people get chewed up by lions, 9 times out of 10, they fucking deserved it. You know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, the lion ain't break loose. You know, I'm just start ripping shit up. 9 times out of 10, it'd be one of them trying to pet one of these big ass lions, or it'd be a motherfucker like him that owns one of these fucking lions. You know what I'm saying? And no one ever put themselves in the perspective of said lion. Because what the fuck do you mean you own me? Bitch, I'm a fucking lion.
Resident entered his pet lion's enclosure for unknown reasons, but he never made it out of the cage, at least not alive, marking a grim end to his hobby of breeding dangerous predators in his backyard.
R.I.P.
But what happened? Michal Prasek was well known in his village for his unconventional choice of pets. It's safe to say that his passion made him unpopular. Locals feared his animals, but Michal was hell-bent on having his way and keeping his beloved exotic pets, a lion and a lioness. He had purchased the male lion 3 years prior from Slovakia. The lioness was acquired 2 years after that, in 2018. Michal kept these lions in homemade cages on his property, apparently for breeding purposes. Despite numerous complaints from concerned neighbors and fines from local authorities for lacking the necessary permits and building permissions, Michal continued to keep and breed these dangerous animals. To top things off, he would often take the lions out on walks in his neighborhood. As such, incidents involving the lions were not uncommon. In June 2018, the community was further enraged when a cyclist collided with Prasek's lioness while he was taking her for a walk on a leash. The cyclist was injured and required hospital treatment, but the incident was classified as a traffic accident after police intervention. It didn't matter to Michal that his whole community wanted him to give up his pet.
Odin Valhalla Rising, now available on mobile and PC, exclusively with Google Play Games.
Pets. And there was little that authorities could do about the matter. They had previously fined Prasek for illegal breeding and constructing enclosures without proper permits, but their efforts to remove the animals legally were hampered by a lack of alternative facilities for the lions and the absence of evidence suggesting animal cruelty.
Ain't no fucking facility for these bitches. Put these back where the fuck you went and grabbed this motherfucker from. What you mean ain't no facilities to put the lion? He a fucking lion. Let him be a lion. Look at him petting him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Thinking shit sweet. I ain't no motherfucking pup, nigga. I'm a fucking lion. Gee, like, bro, what are we talking about?
As such, the situation was at a stalemate because Michal refused access to his property and the authorities were unable to take further action under existing laws. But it all changed on a fateful Tuesday morning. The maintenance of lions in captivity, especially in non-professional settings, is a huge risk, something Michal learned in the worst possible way. It was about 7 a.m. when Michal Prasek's father discovered his son's lifeless body inside the male lion's cage. But what happened? It appeared that the cage was locked from the inside. This meant that 34-year-old Michal had voluntarily entered and then found himself trapped. Michal's father alerted the authorities. When the police arrived, however, they were faced with a serious matter. In order to reach and recover Michal's lifeless body,
I ain't got no sympathy for Michal. Next story.
The Czech government then indicated that it was the 80-acre property. 2006 wildlife enthusiast.
This bitch own a fucking cheetah. She own a motherfucking leopard. What the, like, bro? You know what I'm saying? These ain't pets, motherfucker. These is wild fucking animals, bro. Wild animals. If this how this video is gonna go, I can't watch it. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking a couple of dogs was gonna, you know what I'm saying, lockjaw on the shit. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers got polar bears and tigers and cheetahs and leopards.
Was tending to her beloved tigers on her 80-acre property. She dedicated her life to caring for exotic animals, creating a sanctuary for many wild felines, including Bengal. More than winning the lottery, she believed media hysteria Rangers successfully located the leopard, considered terrifying. Bulls. The venom of a black widow smell coming from his apartment. Days passed, and those who loved him most. It was 2004 in Dortmund, Germany. Mark Vogel, a 30-year-old man living alone, had a rather unusual passion. He collected exotic and often dangerous animals. Mark's small apartment housed over 200 spiders, several snakes, lizards, and even thousands of termites. His prized pet was a black widow spider named Bettina. Unlike most people, Mark found...
Bro, do you know how dangerous a fucking black widow is? You know what I'm saying? I didn't see a little baby black widow and I get to tweaking. You know what I'm saying? When them motherfuckers bite you, you might be able to survive. He got these extra big ass spiders, these 8-legged freak spiders, these soup, you know what I'm saying? These souped up spiders and shit. That's insane. And you got a kid in your house, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what the picture before showed. But
found comfort in these creatures, and his home was more like a live-in horror movie set than a typical living space. Mark was a loner who kept his unusual hobby private. He rarely had visitors and limited his interactions with neighbors. Over time, things took a dark turn. His neighbors began to notice a terrible smell coming from his apartment. Days passed, and the odor only intensified, prompting them to call the police. When the authorities arrived and opened the door, they were met with a chilling sight. The apartment was dim, lit only by a green glow from the numerous terrariums scattered around. Webs filled every corner and spiders roamed freely across the surfaces. But the most horrifying discovery was Mark's lifeless body on the sofa, wrapped in webs. Spiders crawled out of his nose and mouth.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Bro, he just got killed by fucking spiders. And they just been nutting out on him. This is like some movie shit. Like one spider got out, probably bit his ass, and the rest just came, and they just started mobbing in his shit. As an officer, you couldn't pay me to go in there and see that shit, bro. That shit probably is fucking crazy. Like a movie scene, like a, oh my God.
Mouth, and larger chunks of his flesh had been devoured by the lizards and tarantulas. It was clear Mark had been dead for some time, possibly as long as 2 weeks. The smell that had alarmed the neighbors was a mixture of Mark's decomposing body and the odor of his pets. The scene was so disturbing that officers compared it to something out of The Silence of the Lambs. In one corner, a tarantula had even built a nest the size of a bird's in the ceiling. The apartment was a nightmare filled with creatures that had no place in a regular home. Spider expert and animal cruelty officer Gabby Bayer was called in to assess the situation. What she found shocked her. Mark had kept creatures that were so dangerous she compared them to pit bulls. The venom of a black widow spider is 15 times stronger than that of a rattlesnake, though fatalities are rare. Unfortunately, Mark was not so lucky. The police believed that Bettina, his black widow spider, had bitten Mark. The venom incapacitated him, leaving him unable to defend himself. Once he was down, his other pets began to feed on his body. It was a horrific end.
God, bro, I can't even, like, bro, this shit is like making me like touch on myself. Like, Jesus. Ugh.
And for a man whose love for dangerous creatures had gone too far. Mark's neighbors described happening again.
That's RP, Mark.
Highlighting the importance of responsible pet ownership. especially when it comes to dangerous animals.
That's insane.
A compelling tale of greed, sorrow, and retribution unraveled in the sprawling, majestic landscape of Kruger National Park, where the vast African savanna rolls out like an unending tapestry under the expansive sky. Amidst the diverse tapestry of wildlife and the untouched natural beauty, human desires clashed with the brutal realities of nature, setting the stage for a poignant drama that echoed the timeless struggles of life and survival. It began with a man whose name has since faded into obscurity. He was a suspected rhino poacher, driven by the promise of profit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hear rhino. Hey, that's it for this video, brother. All I need, the spider one did it for me. I ain't gonna lie. That's next level, and I don't think it's gonna get topped. Like, comment, subscribe. If y'all want me to finish the video, I'll definitely finish it later on. I'm dropping 2 videos a day. They get it.